Hey there, fellow wanderers. Tonight, we step into the rugged and fascinating world of Sparta, home to one of the most disciplined and formidable societies in ancient Greek history. Picture yourself as a child, standing among olive-green hills and rocky slopes, unaware that your life is about to be forged into iron. No lullabies, no soft hands. Just orders, training, and a cold dawn where your tears are dried by grit, not comfort. You probably won't survive this. Spartan childhood isn't made for softness. It's a crucible built to produce resilience, or break you trying. If stories like this speak to something deep within, like this video, subscribe and comment your location and local time. Dim the lights. Let the fan hum like wind sweeping through stone courtyards. Let's begin. The Spartan childhood is known for being tough. As you trudge your tiny sandals across the dusty terrain, it's clear that growing up here is no cakewalk. It's an environment steeped in thousand-year-old traditions passed down through the generations. Your family expects excellence, yet the funniest part is, although your parents are your primary guardians, it's the state that has more say in carving out your destiny. As a Spartan child, you are introduced to values that emphasize community over the individual, a mindset foreign to many modern cultures that celebrate personal achievement and autonomy. It's not just about learning to walk before you run. Here, it's learning to stand in formation before you can even think about racing. From a young age, you're expected to partake in the communal upbringing that defines the Spartan ethos, creating not just warriors, but members of a community who will go to any lengths to defend their city-state. The scenery of your days is filled with lessons, not only inscribed on papyrus, but on your hard-earned muscles. The very air around you carries a scent of olive groves, as you are taught the ways of laconic speech, mastering the art of saying much with few words, a wit I'm sure you could use today in boiling down long debates to pithy comebacks. Your early education consists of learning to be obsequiously obedient and remarkably resilient. This rugged schooling involves not just erudition, but a careful blend of physical training. Here's your first nugget of a mainstream historical fact. The Spartan Agoge, a compulsory education and training regimen, began for boys at age 7. Through the Agoge, children were assimilated into the Spartan way through a rigorous mix of physical, social, and martial lessons. Education isn't reading and writing alone. It's learning in every sense of the word, a full-body affair. An unexpected quirk. You'd think Spartans would be all brawn and no brains by now, right? But alongside warfare, the art of dance is considered vital among young Spartans. Amidst the drills and arts of combat, the elegance of movement refines your form and renews your spirit. Historians still argue whether dance served primarily as a warrior's exercise for agility or if it was a social necessity for various festivals. Your confidence grows each day, nourished in this communal environment of joint endeavors. Your identity unfurls within is the pride of city-state allegiance. Of course, the nagging fear of Spartan steel looms over all, a fact of daily life as much as a warm Phrygian cloak is to a winter's day. But each shadow that passes you on these ancient pavements is a reminder of the courage that becomes your birthright. It's impossible to overstate the intensity of this life. Yet in the vibrancy of your childhood, the simplicity of daily existence offers moments of unexpected joy. Perhaps when helping tend to sheep along the grassy slopes, or wrestling playfully with friends under the sun's warm gaze. Whether perched at the precipice of your next great challenge, or simply rolling in the dirt, the Spartan spirit quietly instills itself in your bones. In this extraordinary beginning, the Spartan landscape calls to those prepared to embrace its calls and echoes of age-old valor. Now, as we navigate through the early currents of youth in ancient Sparta, let the resonance of these immersive experiences settle into your own steadfast breaths. Your journey begins as you step into the Agoge, the essence of Spartan upbringing, where the sound of your footsteps mixes with the scuffle of grit across the courtyard. This is not just a place. It's a crucible where Spartan boys are immersed in a world of rigorous training designed to craft the perfect warrior. The Agoge is your new school, and like no other institution, it lays claim to your destiny with exacting resolve. The Agoge system, more a way of life than a mere educational program, demands obedience and perseverance beyond what any child should bear. Here's a fact that adds to the unusual charm of this place. From the age of 7, you become a ward of the state, living communally under supervision. It's here that the seeds of Spartan brotherhood are sown, nurtured through shared experiences and trials. You, like your fellow young comrades, learn to live and strive as one cohesive unit. A living analogy for the harmonious phalanx you'll form one day on distant battlegrounds. This isn't a cushy school environment by today's standards, with comfortable desks and bright classrooms. Instead, your classrooms are the vast stretches of open terrain, your companions are nature's elements, and your textbooks are the physical challenges met head-on. The air vibrates with shouts and commands, a perpetual backdrop to the sun's relentless beam on sweaty brows. You're encouraged to speak little, but to convey much, just as the elders do with their famously laconic phrases. Under the watchful gaze of your instructors, who never seem too far from the scene, or a scolding, you learn more than the arts of war, though these are unquestionably integral. Each day includes running, jumping long distances, wrestling on the dry earth, and competing in nude gymnastics that are as much about discipline as they are about brute strength. Amidst all this toil, the occasional cheeky banter or a wrestling faux pas adds touches of humour to otherwise intense routines. In the Agoge, you're engaged in a relentless drive towards excellence. Ever so often, with the sun setting over the Spartan rooftops, your mind wanders to tales of legendary heroes and the courage they wielded. The irony doesn't escape you. Here you are, a budding hero in a sense, yet you ache like a worn-out ox by day's end. Despite this, there blossoms within you a zest that pervades every fibre of your young being. Creativity isn't stifled, but rather encouraged in peculiar ways. There's a peculiar emphasis on fostering resourcefulness. Your ingenuity is tested during Kruptaya, a rite of passage where you navigate cunningly through the wilderness. Not unlike an ancient, extreme version of hide and seek, except you are victoriously using what little you have, avoiding keen-eyed instructors who track your movements. But this is also the time when snippets of unconventional humour spice up daily life. Imagine yourself bundled in simple red cloaks, the one quintessential Spartan garment. And consider the reality behind those legends. Did you know Spartans sometimes practiced on imaginary horses during military training? Historians still debate whether these methods were rooted in actual preparation or merely served as morale-boosting antics. Yet, the sly humour woven through these rugged routines can't erase another stark reality: the brutal punishments lurking behind every rebellion against discipline. Serious missteps could mean sparring not just with instructors, but with your own willpower. You learn, through trial and error, the balance between courage and failure, understanding the cost of weakness. Through all the trials, the air saturates with a mix of sweat, determination, and occasional laughter echoing across training arenas. Each day in the Agoge leaves its mark, from roughed palms to strengthened muscles, but also on your spirit, refashioned within the formidable Spartan mould. You find yourself by necessity embracing this clan-like existence. And so as night wraps its comforting cloak around the Spartan landscape, your mind spins, swaying cradle-like from the day's whirlwind. The camaraderie among your peers, the silent communication through nods and shared glances, becomes a cornerstone of what you are becoming. Your heritage of ancient valour whispers back across time. Unyielding, sturdy and enmeshed in this tradition, the Agoge is not just a forge, but a life in miniature. One that prepares warriors out of the very breath of their youth. As you settle in, your weary mind drifts to rhythmic beats of the night, a heartbeat promising tomorrow's challenges and adventures, a sensation as steady as the earth beneath your sore feet. Contentment is a rare guest, yet its presence is beginning to grace these nights by the flickering Mediterranean moonlight. Your day begins at the crack of dawn, greeted by the gentle hues of morning light spilling over the jagged Spartan landscape. It's a world of relentless rigours, yet amidst the daunting requirements of the Agoge, there emerges a space for activities that might surprise you. Gymnastics and creative crafts, perfect for honing both the agility of your body and the nimbleness of your mind. Imagine yourself on this brisk morning, stretching with supple grace that lies somewhere between a finely tuned string and a prowling panther. Gymnastics, you quickly discover, isn't merely the domain of flips and acrobatics as in modern times, but rather flows into every movement, fluid, controlled, emblematic of the balance a Spartan warrior must perfect. You practice leaps and rolls across the hardened earth, a choreographed dance of strength and elegance intertwined. In the way they move, whispers of ancient philosophies, forging a resonance between the athletic vigor of your forms and the discipline that becomes as inherent as your heartbeat. The coarse sand beneath your feet offers resistance, a reminder that Spartan athletes were instructed not on floors softened by mats, but upon the earth itself, grounding them in the reality of Spartan resilience. Your gymnastics training doesn't stop at physical exercises, it seeps into crafts, a fascinating juxtaposition of brute force and creative thought. Within the stoic framework of Spartan discipline, you find moments of crafty indulgences. Yes, believe it or not, artistic endeavors do exist here. Projects like designing practical tools or weaving tape become part of your curriculum, rendering your hands skilled not only in clutching weapons, but also in crafting objects of utility and beauty. In this peculiar artistic landscape, your fingers learn the art of engraving simple motifs, assembling the makings of shields or etching designs into pottery, a skill that might bring unexpected humor, like an ancient meme, to more serious Spartan arts, through clever designs and jokes shared under breath. It's through these crafts that you learn to see beyond conventional warfare, glimpsing the harmony in their understated strength and creativity. With each swing of the hammer or stroke of the carving tool, your mind slowly adapts to the essence of these crafts, intertwined with foreshadowed echoes of military technology. A quirky tidbit for you: there are claims that such craftsmanship wasn't only practical training, but perhaps even cognitive sharpening, with an eye toward future innovations in Spartiate weaponry. Historians still argue whether the arts were merely an auxiliary exercise or a truly integral supportive framework to martial prowess. Now, picture yourself at a communal training venue, surrounded by fellow young Spartans engaging in a boisterous exhibition of competitiveness, with wry comments thrown amid fiery acrobatics. Oh, what camaraderie is forged here in moments suspended between earthbound struggles and aerial flights, like feathers skipping the breeze. Yet into this vibrancy, the shadow of Spartan severity looms undeniably, some pursuits allying less with levity. Tasks of sculpting metal and crafting tools echo the unwavering demand for utility. These subtle undertakings teach you not just innovation, but to appreciate the paradox of strength through humility and creation within destruction's realm. These lessons form habits that flow seamlessly into informal times, echoing across banquets and storytelling amid the torchlit gatherings where tales of valor and cautionary fables arouse imaginations under the watchful eyes of elders. Sculpted by this paradoxical mosaic of strength versus finesse, you recognize these gymnastics and crafts not simply as exercises, but markers of growth, where your surging spirit of collaboration and solo reflection meld into a canvas intricately painted by solemn discipline and spontaneous creativity. At last, as the sun sinks below the horizon and shadows grow longer, your weariness is invigorated by a subtle appreciation of each crafted art piece, each perfected tumble. As the lull of the Mediterranean night rolls in, you stretch out within the refuge of simple quarters, comforted by the whispering chorus of the nocturnal world, leaving the victories and humble humor of the day to wallow in moonlit dust and dreams woven into your Spartan tutelage. With the sun dipping below the horizon and casting warm hues across the Spartan landscape, your stomach growls like a lion assertively staking its territory. It's dinner time in ancient Sparta, an experience distinctly different from the sumptuous feasts you might imagine when thinking of ancient societies known for extravagant banquets. Here, meals are ritualistic, simple, and steeped in tradition, echoing the Spartan ethos of austerity and communal sharing. As you enter the mess hall, known as the Syssitia, you're immediately enveloped by a symphony of clinking bowls and low murmurs, underscored by the aroma of an infamous Spartan specialty, the black broth. A concoction brewed of pig's blood, vinegar, and mild spices, it's a dish that embodies the Spartan philosophy of minimalism and endurance. While this may sound like an acquired taste, it's as much a part of Spartan identity as the red cloak you drape around your shoulder. Your first spoonful is an awakening, a reminder that Spartan dining reflects their stoic acceptance of life's inherent simplicity and hardships. Around you, a dozen men and young boys like yourself gather with the intent focus of warriors. But under the flickering light of oil lamps, the air softens a bit with goodwill and camaraderie. The Syssitia is not just a place to satiate hunger, but also to cultivate bonds, reinforcing the Spartan collective spirit. Here's a mainstream historical fact for you. Attendance at these meals was mandatory, as communal dining was meant to nurture unity and equality among citizens. Eating together meant living together, and in so doing, ensured the tight-knit fabric of Spartan society. Mid-meal, as the moonlight dances through the small openings in the stone ceilings, a humorous musing bubbles through the conversation. What do you call an Athenian who eats Spartan style? Hungry. It's a line met with chuckles layered over the clatter of bowls, humour peeking through the sternness typical of your peers, even at this formal setting. The dinner allies itself with moments of liveliness, moments when the sombre veil of Spartan discipline lifts ever so lightly. Now, let's not forget the Helots, the servile class that shoulders much of the agrarian labour. You might find yourself slightly embarrassed as you realise it is through their toils that your provisions make their way to your table. It isn't out of neglect that their mention arises, but rather as a stark reminder of the societal structures that secure your people's lifestyle. Though perhaps slightly reluctant to admit it, the Helots serve as foundational gears in Sparta's economic machinery, eking out a living in return for their vital role. As you savour the rich metallic tang of the broth, amidst the heaping mounds of barley bread and occasional vegetables, your ears tune into stories shared by your elders. These narratives transport you from the mundane into realms of myth and morality. They echo alongside the laughs and solidify unspoken codes of conduct. It's a time to digest not only your food, but also the tales and wisdom of generations past, highlighting both glories and pitfalls that shaped the Spartan state. Now, for an offbeat or fringe historical tidbit, did you know that Spartan cooks, proud of their culinary eccentricity, reportedly refused to share the black broth recipe with outsiders, insisting that only Spartan palate could truly appreciate it? Maybe it's a gentle jab that confirms their confident superiority, or a hint of the fiercely guarded culture woven through Spartan life. As meals come to a considerate end, the solemn ritual of sharing ensures no morsel goes uneaten. Under the subtly harsh light, the hall stands cleansed of hunger and filled with a sense of fulfillment more profound than the flavours it hosted. Historians continue to debate whether the Syssitia was purely functional, aiming solely to optimize resources, or if it embodied deeper socialistic values, upholding equality as a central spear in Sparta's social shield. With your stomach appeased and the flickering lights of the hall fading into the amber glow of an evening well spent, your mind begins to settle. Memories of shared tales resonate still in the echoes of the hall, whispering promises of strength and unity as you make your way into the cool night air. Warmed by the simplicity of the meal and camaraderie, you step out into the night, a salient review of your journey through Spartan childhood thus far, as the stars above shimmer tales old and new, drawing a quiet close over the bouncing strains of laughter, prods of playful teasing, and the steady hum of tomorrow's challenges swiftly approaching the horizon. The dim glow of dawn begins to spread across the Spartan sky, penetrating the brisk morning air as you rise with a sense of purpose. Today, like every day in Sparta, is filled with rigorous training calculated to build not just strength, but an unbreakable bond with your fellow Spartans. This bond, forged through hardship and shared victory, is a tapestry interwoven with threads of camaraderie, loyalty, and an intricate rivalry that keeps you sharp as a spear's edge. Beneath the Spartan ideal of eternal unity, you are immediately immersed in the routine hum of clashing wooden swords and shouted encouragements, the intoxicating smell of fresh earth rising beneath your feet. The air crackles with an energy that's palpable, a testament to the spirit that thrives within each young Spartan, eagerly ready to pit their mettle against another. Beneath the Spartan ideal of eternal loyalty lies the healthy and sometimes amusing rivalry that fosters stronger warriors. It's a competition of iron wills and brawn, where young Spartans joust in displays of strength and technique. Sparring with your peers is not only a measure of martial prowess, but a catalyst for forging those bonds that become your lifeline in the heat of battle. Who would have thought wrestling your best friend into the dust could be so foundational? In between the exercises, rest comes not with idleness, but with jousting. In tales of bravado, sharing thrilling recollections of feats executed under the sun, each story growing just slightly more grandiose with every breath. A playful jest or a cheeky nickname earned during training becomes a badge of honor, a mark in the chronicles of your developing warrior spirit. There's a certain humor in these exchanges, deliberate reminders that while strength is serious business, a Spartan heart appreciates a good, sturdy laugh. An interesting quirk amid this joviality There's a custom of pretending to steal effigies during certain training rituals. It might seem strange, but it's all part of honing stealth and creativity mock missions set to prepare you for larger historical roles. It's a curious blend of artistry and warfare, ensuring you're not only brave but clever, anticipating the unexpected even when a friendly face suddenly turns adversary. This camaraderie is underlined with practical purpose. You see, these rivalries are stunningly effective in maintaining unity. Historians still argue whether the focus on such rivalry provided all Spartans with equitable opportunities or created divides too subtle to address openly. Yet what is clear as day is the result. Warriors not just skilled in battle, but resolutely bonded to one another, like shields interlocked in a phalanx, unyielding to any external force. There's a tender intensity to the times you spend bathing in the Eurotas River post-training, where cheerful water battles might ensue, each splash a baptism celebrating strength regained. It's here, beneath the rippling surface, that secrets sometimes slip with ripples into silence, where whispers of trees linger as sentinels to your nascent oaths. Evenings find you assembled once more under the gaze of the Spartan elders, sharing stories of training. Their eyes, an archive in themselves, flicker with approval or amusement at each tale. It is in these informal gatherings, beneath the golden glow of dim fires, that bonds are burnished, preparing you to face whatever formidable task awaits, secure in the knowledge that none of you tackle such trials alone. As stars prick through the inky blanket of night, you fall back onto the grassy banks with your comrades, the day's memories shared among you becoming stepping stones into friendship. Gentle sleep, beckoning as the flutter of leaves, curls into your senses, and whispers of another day spent in loyalty echo like a soothing lullaby. Beneath the vast Spartan sky, every shared experience with your comrades etches an indelible mark on the stone paths of ancient Laconia. As your eyelids flutter toward dreams, it's comforting to know that around you lie those with hearts as tenacious as the rocky earth beneath. And tonight, they slumber with loyal spirits intertwined with yours. The Spartan morning breaks with a resigned relentlessness, ushering in yet another day under the austere Spartan sun. As you make your way through the bustling heart of your ancient home, you are greeted by the ubiquitous presence of the Helots, the unheralded labourers who serve as the backbone of Spartan society. This distinct class of people stands apart from the rigid life of Spartan citizens, bound to the fields that stretch across Laconia and Messenia. They are the silent pillars upon which Sparta's formidable society rests, providing the sustenance and stability needed for the city's warriors to thrive. Walking through the fields, you observe the Helots toiling with stoic perseverance. These people, essentially state-owned serfs, are tasked with agricultural duties that underpin Spartan economic strength. Their labour frees you and your fellow Spartans from such mundane tasks, allowing you ample time to focus on training and honing the martial skills for which Sparta is famed. It's a delicate balance, a mutually dependent relationship that fuels both Spartan prosperity and legacy. Despite being seen more as property than as citizens, Helots possess a quiet dignity. It's rather humbling, really, to acknowledge these individuals whose hard work ensures your meals are plenteous and your trainings uninterrupted. Although the Helots exist within a hierarchy far beneath the Spartan ideal, there is a reluctant acknowledgement of their necessity. An odd historical tidbit emerges here. During certain religious festivals, the Helots were reportedly given permission to wear animal masks. A bizarre tradition modern scholars theorize was meant to disguise them, even if for a moment, as equals. Or perhaps it was merely an opportunity to sow confusion among newly sentient Helot revolts. While the day progresses under the relentless sun, amidst the chants of "You know Mia," or "Good order," you see how this mantra governs every social stratum in Sparta, from soldiers in armour to the Helots labouring under weighted silence. It's a curious dance of order and authority, equally reliant upon one another, yet painstakingly aware of their separate existences. Observing a group of Helots toiling over a bountiful season's harvest, you're reminded that Spartan society, with its vaunted discipline, owes much to these quiet hands. The irony of Spartans' reliance on the Helots is not lost on you. They enjoy no say in politics, nor the honour of warfare, yet their private toil fuels your public standing. The crisp yet cautious laughter shared among your fellow Spartans during breaks reflects a fear that is never openly discussed, a fear of Helot uprisings. The fear is enough to demand constant vigilance. a reality that intrigues and amuses with its quiet contradictions. Historians continue to debate the true relationship between Sparta and its Helots. Was it a partnership marred by oppression, or a symbiosis of necessity that unknowingly bound both parties to a fate neither truly controlled? This tension is but another layer in the kaleidoscope of Spartan's socio-political existence. Back within the city bounds, you see the evidence of Helot's work manifested in bustling marketplaces, laden with goods, fresh produce, and the occasional craft. More than just a survival mechanism, this bustling life is a subtle nod to the unofficial collaboration that thrives amid Spartan superiority. It's a concealed truth, hidden beneath the stark orders barked by overseers. Without the backbone that is the Helot workforce, social structure and tradition would inevitably crumble like ancient pillars left unguarded. With the sun dipping low, leaving traces of gold across fields brushed with silvery olive greens, you return to your quarters, witnessing the silhouette of a Helot bus, busily tending final evening chores. Their figure vanishes slowly into the dusk, a silhouette that, despite the shadows, remains etched in your mind. You begin to realize this enduring system is built on interdependent roles and obligations, a dynamic with both weight and whispers tracing through the fields and stone streets alike. Under the Spartan stars, the hidden chords of unity and disparity are strummed silently, serenading the slumber-bound city. Each heartbeat, each sigh among the Helots is a note within an unvoiced hymn, a paradoxical song echoing balance and belonging, all within the rich tapestry of Spartan superiority and survival. As night couches you in its serene embrace, these unsung bonds slip gently into your dreams, becoming both present awareness and distant rumination. The restless Spartan dawn awakens a mounting anticipation. The whisper of leaves, the low chorus of animals, and the crisp silhouette of Mount Tygotos signal another day rich with rugged pursuits. Today unfolds with the primal thrill of one of the most esteemed activities among young Spartans, hunting. It's not just a pastime, it's an integral ritual that melds stealth, skill, and strategy. You stride into the wild, accompanied by your peers, each step vibrating with the promise of adventure found beyond the confines of the city walls. The wilderness you're tasked to navigate is a sprawling canvas of challenging terrains and hidden pathways, encouraging you to employ every technique learned in training. As a young Spartan, your objectives aren't limited to conquering the vast expanse or subduing the quarry. No, this is a meticulous dance with nature itself, a lesson in harmony, patience, and the measure of one's mettle. Long before the modern hunter, decked in camouflage or armed with high-tech gear, you rely on basic tools, simple, essential, yet effective. Armed with a finely hewn spear and accompanied by trusty hounds, the forest becomes a stage upon which you craft your story. Moving through thickets and shadows, keen eyes search for signs of your quarry, tracks pressed into soft earth, freshly snapped twigs, or the distant rustle of creatures unaware of human interlopers. Hunting is a test of strategic thinking, a methodical exercise that demands silence and focus. Likewise, it's a brotherhood. Every creak of leather, every whispered warning bind you to your companions in mutual pursuit. It's not unusual to experience a competitive edge alongside camaraderie. Who else can claim the day's most impressive catch or sneak the quietest along deer trails? You pause, drawing in the scent of pines mingling with the musky trail of boar, a crafty adversary, luring you deeper into the embrace of the forest. Its cleverness and unpredictable bolting nature necessitates strategy and instinct. A concrete lesson in the battle of wits. Remember, only the stealthiest succeed, the one who leaps from cunning rather than brute force. It's within these wild ambushes that Spartan training finds unique expression, useful in realms beyond hunting's thrill. The agility it demands, the sharpness of mind, the ability to react swiftly, all form valuable facets of the Spartan warrior. There's humour too in the occasional surprise, like when a bird darts unexpectedly, causing an awkward scramble and laughter that rings out among the trees. As for the cultural add-ons to the traditional hunt, here's your quirky tidbit. Sometimes you'll find a companion stealing a moment to pluck spontaneous melodies on a lyre, a brief interlude that impressively transforms the still air with music that hints at both artistry and mischief. Historians still argue whether this was an impromptu flair or meant to lure creatures into revealing themselves with curiosity. With hours stolen by the mountain breezes, Quarry and quietude often mark the final exploits or measured retreats to Spartan grounds. Within the fading sun's glow, your group compares catches, the talk mingling with youthful enthusiasm over victories, small or mighty. Here, beneath the canopy of forested shelter, your soul finds its home amidst comrades, amid the thrill of pursuit and peaceful sigh of dusk blanketing the world in satisfaction. Each hunt carries with it a silent anthem, praise not just for the hunt secured, but for learning the dance within nature's embrace. As night descends, you journey back toward the Spartan heartland, hoofbeats shaking the earth while your triumph, the laughter, the wielded stealth, echo round your spirit with a lively rhythm. It's a rhythm that endures beyond the hill's crest and fold. The hunting grounds release you into a twilight tapestry of bold stars and whispering winds, serenading your senses to sleep even as victory-rich dreams weave through skylit minds. Amidst the cool serenity of your sequential breaths, you slip into a revered rest. It's a sleep that speaks of hunts chased and treasures savoured, a harmony all its own, unbroken and resolute, dancing within the quiet pride of Spartan youth. As the first glimmers of the morning cascade over the Spartan landscape, casting shadows long and thin across the ground, another aspect of Spartan life unfurls, the surprising importance of music and dance. It's a revelation that challenges the prevailing image of Spartans as stoic, battle-hardened warriors, revealing instead a culture that embraces rhythm, harmony, and expression. You find yourself in the center of a gathering, surrounded by the gentle hum of anticipation and the soft pluck of a lyre. This isn't just a frivolous pastime. It's a crucial element in developing the warrior spirit, blending physical prowess with mental acuity. As the music begins, the air vibrates with an energy that hints at its ancient vitality. Armed with an appreciation for this unexpected art form, you join your fellow Spartans in the patterned steps of the Pyrrhic dance, a dance as old as Sparta itself. Its movements translate combat techniques into graceful expression, a war dance that mirrors the motions of battle, yet imbued with the grace of a choreographed routine. Feet stamp in measured cadence, arms swing in unison, and for a moment, in this shared movement, you find the dance a mesmerizing blend of strength and cohesion. With every step, you realize how music and dance can channel aggression and focus, like a blade honed on both edges. One side personal expression, the other preparation for the regimented drills and strategy of warfare. The rhythmic steps, akin to those of the meticulous phalanx formation, ensure you move as a single, synchronized entity, ready for challenges far beyond the dance circle. Among these rhythmic beats, legends are born and stories spun. Blended seamlessly with the music, a delightfully unfiltered form of storytelling that preserves Spartan heritage. It's a festival of tradition, one that weaves a modern Spartan closer to ancient roots with each beat. Here's a curious piece of history for you. Spartan music doesn't just entertain but also instructs in military cadence. It's said to be so integral that Spartans take their melodies to the battlefield, using rhythm to maintain marching tempo and build morale, the sweet sound of courage reverberating against shields in unison. Even amidst these cultural pursuits, there's room for amusement. Perhaps a young Spartan jokingly replaces traditional lyrics with humorous ones about the awkwardness of boar hunting or the struggles of wearing heavy armor. There's laughter at the expense of fellow dancers, friendly teasing that becomes the chorus against which daily routines play out. Historians continue to debate whether Spartans embraced music and dance purely as a means to an end for martial refinement, or if there lay within its notes an unspoken joy, perhaps even a necessary diversion from their otherwise Spartan lifestyle. What is certain is the richness these elements add to the otherwise uniformity of Spartan life, bringing warmth where the coal stove of Spartan discipline sometimes leaves a cold chill. As afternoon light wanes into a warm wave of gold, the Spartan, Agora, a marketplace turned amphitheatre, witnesses both formal and spontaneous dance performances, regarded not just as a display of culture but as an essential training discipline. The melody plays over the fields, a whispered chorus only for those who remember its notes. A yarn spun across time that loops Spartan generations into its historical embrace. This immersion into music and dance sweetens the air, accompanying you back home as dusk weaves itself into teal skies, hinting that even within the heart of a fierce warrior, rests a song. It's a cherished harmony that sits comfortably alongside your martial ambitions, dancing its way into dreams that sway lightly amid the night. In the embrace of evening shadows, the dance lingers within your quieted breath, a soft reminder of life's melodies, surging with tomorrow's promise of yet another step, another beat, another moment within Sparta's storied rhythm. And as you drift into a serene slumber beneath the silent constellation's watch, the music of the day lulls itself around you. A remedy against life's battles, a lullaby forged in time. The morning sun finds you nestled in the heart of Spartan life, painted in tones of indigo and amber that cascade over stone and clay rooftops. It's a day like any other, yet what sets today apart is your family's pivotal role in shaping your journey. Family dynamics in Sparta are an intriguing mix of tradition and fierce communal loyalty, a balance between granting their son to the state and honouring the wisdom of elders. In Spartan society, the family is the initial pillar in every child's life. You, as a young Spartan, would have experienced the warmth of family love alongside the firm expectations that guide you toward your destiny. Fathers, revered as symbols of strength, impart the values of courage and resilience before your eventual induction into the Agoge. They stand as the stalwarts of Spartan virtues, blending tenderness with the weight of responsibility to forge future warriors. Your mother, meanwhile, is no bystander in this endeavour. Spartan women are uniquely empowered compared to their counterparts in other Greek city-states. They manage estates, wield economic influence, and ensure that norms and traditions are adhered to with an exceptional sense of stewardship. Together, your parents' partnership bolsters the family unit, an indispensable cog in the wheel of Spartan society. Amongst siblings, especially if you have brothers, the sense of competition is as natural as drawing breath. Yet, beyond rivalry lies a bond nurtured through shared goals and ambitions. Even sisters inspire with their resilience and determination, showing you another facet of Spartan strength, one that thrives within the walls of the household, yet extends far beyond, like ripples in the Evrotas River after a summer rainstorm. While familial ties are strong, an interesting quirky tradition unfolds. When you come to the age where you leave for the Agoge, there is a symbolic farewell that involves a small ceremony, marked by heartfelt gifts and expressions of hope and promise. Sometimes, family members might fashion personalized amulets or tokens, perhaps embedding a favorite joke or ancestral symbol, a quirky reminder of home to carry through the trials ahead. The elderly, on the other hand, hold a revered place, an expansive repository of wisdom. They are the keepers of stories, the weavers of tales that stitch together lessons learnt from Sparta's revered past. In their ancient eyes, you glimpse flashes of battles fought and culture born. They embody the virtues dictated by their elytra, the legendary code of laws, teaching by parable and example. Their voices are whispers of time, guiding you toward honour, courage, and an understanding of your place within Spartan heritage. Yet, it's not all sombre wisdom. There's another side to these seasoned narratives, stories punctuated with wit and a quiet playfulness. Imagine an elder recounting tales of Spartan antics, or sharing humorous limericks composed during long utilitarian ceremonies, cheeky reminders that life bears both grave and light-hearted moments. Historians still argue whether the Spartan family leaned more on affectionate bonds or strictly adhered to duty and expectations imposed by state. The paradox lies in their potential duality, simultaneous threads interweaved so seamlessly that they blur the line between home life and state service. With day fading to twilight, conversations move to the hearth-place, echoing warmth and stories plentiful as tender shadows dance, imbued by flickering firelight. The laughter of siblings, the advice of parents, and the wisdom bestowed by elders wrap around you like your cherished crimson cloak. They bring solace against the rising stars. In the drifting quiet of the Spartan night, family transcends time, an enduring presence even when darkness descends. Nestling through your dreams, carried steadfast with you into each dawn's embrace. With that familiar sense of connection, the day's burdens dissolve softly into the fragrant nocturnal hum, leaving you at peace with your place among the generations of your storied kin. As the sharp rays of the Spartan sun carve patterns of advancing time across the stony alleyways, you find yourself swept into the throes of one of the most revered aspects of Spartan life, the call to arms. War, to Sparta, is not just a distant thunder but an ever-present reality, a drumbeat that paces through every day and disciplines every soul. It is considered a glorious duty, and the ultimate test of a Spartan's worth lies in the theatre of battle. From your earliest days in the Agoge, the concept of warfare is a looming presence, guiding your training both on and off the dusty training fields. The clanging of shields in mock contests, the held breaths as strategies unfold, these have become a second language, woven into the fabric of your understanding. You are being prepared not for skirmishes alone, but for the harmonious unity of a phalanx, where every shield and spear supports the warrior beside it, much like the ligaments of a mighty beast. The phalanx. It's a formation as formidable as the towering cliffs of Taygetus, epitomizing strength through relentless solidarity. Each warrior interlocks his shield with that of his neighbor, forming an impenetrable wall of defiance. To break rank would not only jeopardize your own life, but compromise the structural integrity of the entire formation. An unthinkable breach of discipline and trust. Your life revolves around perfecting these strategies, so ingrained they are almost an extension of your bodily instincts. The call of a horn signals practice time, and instantly your mind leaps into focus, coordinating with the comrades around you, practicing until muscle memory envelops every movement, until you move seamlessly in tandem with others, requires immersion in a rhythm as natural as breathing. The very air carries echoes of past glories, a reminder that those who fought alongside King Leonidas at Thermopylae were not merely warriors but legends strewn across time, like the strands of light slipping through morning mist. Their courage bred from the same teachings, the same bloodline of warrior ideals. Interestingly, in the solemnity of preparation and the sharpened edge of combat readiness, you discover moments of humor as well. The old soldiers have a habit of recounting wartime blunders turned lessons, marked with witty commentary on the folly of youthful hubris. Imagine this: a young recruit marches out boldly, helmet askew, earning shouts of, "Whither art thou heading? The goddess Athena waits not for helmetless Spartans." In between the rigor, the role of women within the paradigm of Spartan warfare cannot be overlooked. They do not fight alongside men, but their presence in society as landowners, managers, and motivators ensures a robust framework keeps Sparta driving forward. They inject vigor and courage into their sons, reinforcing the warrior creed with a matronly influence that eclipses the boundaries of the battlefield. Yet for all its cultivation, warfare is not simply battle, it is immersion into Spartiate philosophy. Rumoured aphorisms like, "with your shield or on it," underscore courage and unyielding fidelity to Spartan ethos. Historians still debate whether these expressions were literal dogma or ceremonies of speech, a scaffold upon which Spartan identity was meticulously hung. As day succumbs to dusk, the rising moon washes over fields stained with evening light. You reflect on the day's trials, aware of the inevitable convergence with destiny's call. The imminence of battle is a shadow, a silent observer that never departs your side. At night, within your modest quarters, echoes of tomorrow resonate gently against the stone walls. Draped in blankets, you embrace the anticipatory calm of another Spartan prelude. Such is the seamless symphony of devotion to Sparta each day, a rehearsal of loyalty, might, and brotherhood, playing itself into both cyclical dawns and endless histories yet to be woven. As your eyes close, the promise of Spartan warfare cradles you, versed in dreams of shields raised in unity, instincts sharpened like the spears you sleep beside. It all harmonizes into the lullaby of a Spartan soldier's journey, stoic, solemn, and immutably eternal. As daylight filters through the Spartan landscape with its inescapable precision, the lens now shifts from the warrior's training ground to an equally compelling facet of Spartan life: the role of women. In a society renowned for its martial prowess and strict discipline, Spartan women exude a unique strength and freedom scarcely paralleled among ancient Greek city-states. They bear an influence that plays a critical role in maintaining Sparta's might and societal structure. You can imagine Spartan girls growing up in an environment distinct from the patriarchal confinements of their contemporaries in Athens. From a young age, Spartan girls partake in rigorous physical training similar to that of their brothers. Their regimen includes running, wrestling, and gymnastics, fostering not just physical fortitude, but also a resilience that prepares them for their responsibilities within Spartan society. The rationale behind this is simple yet profound. Physically strong women are believed to bear strong warriors, perpetuating the Spartan legacy. The freedom Spartan women enjoy allows them a level of autonomy uncommon in the ancient world. They own property, manage estates, and wield economic power that endows them with great responsibility. While Spartan men commit themselves to the art of war, women are trusted with safeguarding domestic stability and advancing the family's interests, a role imbued with respect and authority. Their opinions are not only valued, but often sought in matters both familial and civic. One can't help but smile at the idea of a Spartan wife boastfully admonishing her husband with remarkable wit when he falters, perhaps playfully returning home with the legendary maxim, "With your shield or on it." It's the kind of cheeky banter that breaks the day's sternness, revealing the warmth inherent within Spartan households. Women's participation in Spartan society is further accentuated during festivals and religious ceremonies, where they are not mere spectators but active participants. Here's a quirky tidbit. During the Gymnopedia Festival of the Naked Dance, both men and women engaged in singing and dancing, celebrating prowess and beauty in unity. The festivity is a testament to the Spartan appreciation of strength, health, and artistic expression. Sweeping beyond domestic and ceremonial contributions, Spartan women embolden the very foundation of Spartan ideology. With the heart of a nurturer and the spirit of a warrior, they echo the Spartan code in every word and action, encouraging the forthcoming generation towards the illustrious path of duty and sacrifice. Here, motherhood intertwines seamlessly with Spartan patriotism, a blend historians still ponder over whether it contributes as much to the martial bravado as the youth in the Agoge. Despite, or perhaps because of rigorous expectations, a certain humour stitches through the fabric of Spartan womanhood. Among gatherings, laughter spills from anecdotes of wayward husbands or childhood antics, shared under the sun-dappled arbours that whisper secrets only matriarchs hold. The tapestry of Spartan society, vibrant in its own way, is confidently embroidered by the steady hands of its women, weaving a lineage as resilient as their storied mountains. The night draws its tranquil curtain over Sparta, and the world slows its hurried pace. Under a sky where the constellations hold tales as old as time, lies the power of Spartan women. Timeless, enduring, poised as sentinels over hearth and home. Their presence, both invisible and monumental, is a lull not unlike the gentle stir of ancient olive trees in moonlit repose. As slumber beckons, so too does the appreciation of these powerful women. The silent strength behind an indomitable world. With the war hums of tomorrow silenced by the chorused dreams of devoted mothers, sisters, and daughters, you surrender to the serene embrace of night. Within this gentled quietude lies a whispered reverence for the Spartan woman, whose spirit sparks courage from generation to generation. A whisper gentle yet unbreakable, lasting and true. As another day blossoms over the Spartan landscape, an atmosphere of celebration permeates the air. It's a time of communal gatherings, of laughter and dance, of music spilling through the streets. It's festival season in Sparta, a time when the rigid structures of daily life soften just slightly to make room for joy and collective rejoicing. You find yourself amid the bustling festivities, where the usual austerity of Spartan life takes on a decidedly festive air. The city's rhythms shift, embracing the spirited tempo of ancient celebration. Spartan festivals aren't merely extravagant diversions. They are deeply entwined in religious and cultural observances, reinforcing the community's values and shared narratives. One such celebrated festival is the Hyacinthia, held over several days to honour Apollo and mourn Hyacinthus, a lover of Apollo who suffers a tragic fate. The festival unfolds in two parts, capturing the dichotomy of Spartan life mourning, followed by jubilation. The first phase is sombre, filled with offerings and solemn rites, reminding you of life's fragility and the power of the gods. It's a reflective time when even the most stalwart Spartans feel a shared humanity in the face of divine caprice. As the festival progresses, the energy transforms into an exuberant celebration. You join your fellow Spartans in brightly festooned processions, witnessing vibrant chariot races and engaging in spirited competitions. The communal delight is contagious as laughter rings through the plaza, lighter than the wind rustling through the olive groves. Here, spontaneous moments spark, with jesters playfully provoking the crowd and children competing in games of agility and strength. During these festivals, the importance of music and dance becomes ever more pronounced, as we see the Spartans engage in lively performances, their feet stamping out the beats, their voices raised in songs that resound through the ages. There's a jest in every step, a wink in every note sung, weaving light-heartedness into the very fabric of Spartan festivity. An amusing tradition involves the playful skewering of Spartan warriors' revered notions. Amid formal contests stands a tradition of parody, where participants caricature their leaders, subverting the usual stern hierarchy with wit and satire. It is a form of light-hearted defiance, a nod to the gods that takes the edge off the otherwise rigid Spartan decorum. You might find yourself chuckling at the roles reversed, the mighty and serious rendered silly for a day. For example, a reenactment showcasing the ever-serious strategoi, comically fumbling with rudimentary tactics, earning peals of laughter, and ensuring the lesson is learned by all. Strength need not come at the expense of levity. Highlighting this festive spirit is an intriguing detail. Did you know that during these celebrations, the Helots, the often overlooked workhorses of Spartan society, are also allowed some respite to participate, momentarily stepping out of their defined roles to partake in the heartiness? It raises eyebrows even today, with historians deliberating whether this was a fleeting acknowledgement or a practical necessity, ensuring the wheels of celebration turn smoothly. As dusk settles and the skies transition from sapphire to ink, the camaraderie kindled by shared revelry carries through the night. Beneath constellations that have watched over countless generations, tonight every Spartan finds kinship in the unity of celebration and the rich tapestry of their shared identity. As you unwind beneath the canopy of stars, the laughter and echoing music from the day's festivities linger in the air like a sweet aftertaste. Joy finds continuity even in quiet repose, as the festival, with its whirlwind of emotions, segues into dreamtime harmonies, a lullaby gently weaving through the silence. The ancient cadence transitions into the serenity of sleep, each rhythmic beat left to reverberate as old songs of memory and belonging cradle you into the night. The festival becomes a cherished dance of remembrance, a shift in time that anchors you solidly within the Spartan soul, assuring you its legacy is yours to forever carry forward into each sunlit dawn. As the festival's echoes slowly fade into the intricate tapestry of Spartan life, the city's pulse returns to its well-trodden paths. The simplicity of Spartan existence is defined not only by its rigorous routines and unyielding discipline, but also by a remarkably efficient economic system that sustains this unwavering society. In stark contrast to the complex economies of other Greek city-states, Sparta thrives on a system deliberately designed to curtail excess and discourage corruption. Imagine stepping into the Spartan marketplace where simplicity reigns supreme. Here, the currency isn't marked by glistening coins or flamboyant exchanges. Instead, it takes the form of iron bars, unassuming and heavy, reflecting the Spartan distaste for luxury and opulence. With this choice, the Spartans prioritize functionality over extravagance. Crafting a society where excess is neither desired nor practical, the marketplace is alive with barters and exchanges, goods traded for goods, services for services. In such an environment, you discover an intriguing dynamic, an economy built on necessity and trust, not material wealth. The currency, functional and bare, ensures that transactions remain straightforward, reinforcing the Spartan ethos of moderation and community focus. In this unique system, farmers, artisans and merchants rely on mutual cooperation. While the rest of the ancient world spins into political games of control and affluence, Spartan society holds fast to the lessons of restraint, as shared resources keep the community resilient against external pressures. Here's an intriguing tidbit about Spartan currency. The iron bars were rumoured to be deliberately cumbersome, making hoarding a Herculean task. Those hefty pieces, even laughably unwieldy compared to the coins jingling in an Athenian's pocket, were a safeguard designed to promote equality and dampen greed. It's said that a well-to-do Spartan would need an entire storeroom just to amass any significant wealth. Practical or strategic? Historians still debate whether this approach served as a deterrent to avarice or was merely a bold declaration of Spartan values. Beyond individual prosperity, barter remains the bedrock upon which Spartan trade operates, inviting outside influences only if deemed beneficial to the collective good. The presence of foreign merchants is treated with cautious respect. Their vibrant wares a tantalizing glimpse of worlds beyond Spartan borders. Within these encounters, Spartan culture briefly engages with novelty, while adhering to a stoic core, that remains unfaltering. Yet, despite the controlled economy, a gossamer thread of humour weaves through the everyday commerce. A Spartan vendor might jest about the weight of the iron currency, recounting tales of bygone deals where transport seemed akin to training exercise. It's a camaraderie laugh, a light-hearted embrace of the oddity that defines Spartan trade. As you walk amidst the Spartan stalls, soaked in sun-drenched simplicity, the understated elegance of a world pursued not for abundance but for necessity becomes apparent. Each transaction reveals echoes of a lesson taught by your forebears, emphasizing the substance over the superficial. As dusk approaches, the marketplace quiets, retreating into the calm intimacy of Spartan twilight. Iron bars are set aside, their familiar weight leaving traces on hands accustomed to upholding a lifestyle that celebrates practicality above all. Returning home beneath the settling sky, you carry the ease of modern Spartan life with you, its achievements quiet yet sturdy beneath the horizon's embrace. The uncomplicated pulse of the Spartan economy beats unceasingly, a rhythm as eternal as the tides, binding you to a tradition that speaks through actions as much as history itself. As darkness clocks the city, you slip into the comfort of sleep, accompanied by the unyielding simplicity that characterizes your world. The night's whispers find you, lulling Sparta into repose, where dreams carry iron weights of constancy, resilience, and understated power, whispering the promise of a new day, anchored in the silent strength of Spartan perseverance. The morning sun peeks once more over the landscape of Sparta, casting its first light upon the city's austere streets. Today, however, you find yourself contemplating a slightly different aspect of Spartan life, the unforgiving justice system that upholds the rigidly structured society. In Sparta, justice is meted out with the firm hand of discipline, shaped by the needs of a warrior state and infused with a characteristically Spartan severity. Spartan law is less of a written code and more of a deeply ingrained set of expectations implanted in the citizens' minds as an inheritance through the generations. Unlike other Greek city-states, where laws are debated endlessly in grand assemblies, Spartan law feels etched into the very stones of the city. It's an unrelenting guide to maintaining order and citizenship. Your conduct is continuously measured against it. Punishment for transgressions, therefore, holds a unique place in Spartan life. It's not merely a correction, but a public reaffirmation of societal values. The Agoge serves as both school and law enforcement, where discipline is instructed and infractions are met with immediate consequences. It's said, and jokingly repeated by the elders, that the wooden wardens, those infamous switches that snap against unruly shoulders, are as much a part of Spartan life as the crimson cloaks and sun-warmed sand. When disputes arise between Spartans, they are settled swiftly. The necessity for martial focus means little room for prolonged disagreements. Elderly adjudicators, often selected for their wisdom and impartiality, oversee the resolutions, their verdict reminiscent of nature's swift winds. It pierces through the arguments cleanly, decisively, yet sometimes humorously. Imagine a scenario where one of the elder judges might twist a well-worn phrase to humorous effect, perhaps remarking on an impudent youth running afoul of the porch rug for less. Such implicit wit underscores authority while alleviating tension in a city that values brevity. In family matters, the parental influence forms the crucible where ethical lessons are distilled. While Spartan fathers cultivate a firm but fair rule within the household, they're just as duty-bound to society's expectations as their offspring. In a world where deviation means an imbalance in the carefully maintained societal structure, every action bears scrutiny under the ever-present Spartan eye. For a quirky detour, consider the approach to theft within the Agoge. Young Spartans are encouraged to develop cunning by stealing food, not as a breach of law, but a test of stealth and resourcefulness. However, if caught in the act, their punishment is swift and sure, not for the theft itself, but for carelessness. It's a contradiction that leans on Spartan wit, instilling prudence over naively brazen attempts. Legal disputes involving helots or maintaining order among them unfold with yet another layer of complexity. While helots exist outside citizenry law, Spartan overseers tread cautiously, balancing fear of rebellion with the necessity of stability. Historians still argue whether the dual existence fostered an atmosphere of silent oppression, or if it functioned as a form of social equilibrium, whereby social boundaries were both observed and upheld. As the sun dips below the horizon, ushering in a gentler light. You walk the now shadow-laden pathways of Sparta. Though strict and unyielding, the justice system maintains a harmony that keeps the city moving forward, drawing every Spartan into a tapestry tightly woven with expectations of duty, honor, and responsibility. In the silent calm of evening, those echoes soften, reinforcing the clarity of a path navigated with a solemn certainty unique to Spartan life. The laws etched through generations, as constant as the sun's return, whisper their assurances of consistency, just, though ironclad, stitching security through every dream. In the cocoon of night, you find comfort in the unerring certitude that surrounds you. The certainty of living a life measured by values both ancient and unperturbed weaves itself into the quiet lull of sleep, beckoning a tomorrow held steadfast within the embrace of time, unfaltering as the vigilant stars above. As Sparta awakens under the expansive stretch of morning sky, a buzz of anticipation threads through the city, tide-like in its inevitability. Today's focus is the very essence of Spartan renown, military innovations and tactics that underscore the city's legendary dominance on the battlefield. This is an integral piece of the Spartan legacy, and you find yourself drawn into the intricate dance of strategy, precision, and collective might that defines Spartan warfare. Training in Sparta isn't just about brawn. It's a meticulous study in innovation. Your day begins as you assemble with your fellow trainees, ready to delve into the strategic complexities that make the Spartan army a force of unyielding unity. The Spartan way isn't one of disordered charges and chaotic combat. It's a philosophical discipline where each warrior is a cog in the machine, essential to its seamless operation. The heart of Spartan military might is the phalanx, a formation as iconic as the stories that celebrate it. Forming a dense wall of interlocked shields and projecting spears, the phalanx moves like a single entity across the battlefield, a tidal force of flesh and iron. You practice again and again, refining every move until the phalanx becomes second nature. Within its weaving ranks, you're taught to anticipate, react, and adapt. A litany of lessons grounded in survival and victory. Beyond formations, your training encompasses the unexpected. It's a blend of subtle tactics like nighttime maneuvers under starlit skies, or the art of remaining unseen until it's too late for your enemies. The power lies in preparedness, degrees of strategy that wield not just brute force but also the element of surprise. Imagine, a nighttime drill finds you scrambling over terrain, shadows your allies and whispers from the dark, threading hushed commands through the crisp night air. Remarkably, humour isn't lost amid these serious endeavours. Amidst the training exercises, there's room for the occasional jest. A Spartan warrior may find an inventive way around an obstacle, earning the playful rebuff, strategy or trickery, as long as we win the day. It's a light-hearted nod to the balance between cunning and valour, where success is the true measure. Consider this: the development of Spartan shields wasn't just tactical. They were also emblematic, each adorned with lambda, the Spartan letter, symbolic allegiance worn boldly into battle, reminding foes of the indestructible force advancing upon them. Think of it, painted in bright hues against bronze, a mark of identity more than simple armament. There's an interesting notion about Spartan weapons, known and admired for their duality. Spartans weren't just warriors in the field, they were craftsmen of their tools. It's said they practiced methods to subtly alter their spears and swords, a blend of innovation and necessity. Historians still argue whether these changes altered battlefield hierarchies or served purely functional purposes. Either way, they remained quintessential symbols of Spartan ingenuity. Continuing in your regimented drills, lessons unfurl like scrolls unrolling to reveal ancient scripts. There are stories of outnumbered Spartans holding firm, accounts passed from instructor to acolyte, each underlining the tactical prowess that becomes synonymous with Spartan doctrine. Here, tactics encompass knowledge as much as physical prowess, demanding cognitive acuity alongside muscle. As the day dims into dusk, the skylines etching red in farewell, the lessons resonate. The tactics learned aren't verbose. Instead, they are streamlined perfection, an embodiment of the Spartan ideal. Efficiency in motion, brevity in strategy, repeated across infinite permutations of Spartan formations. When twilight casts its gentle net, ushering the city into nighttime introspection, you feel an enveloping sense of belonging within this martial lineage. The encumbered weight of shields rests heavy with meaning and reminders. You drift towards sleep, lying among ranks of fellow warriors, In training, echoes of shared resolve humming through the night. Dreams come lightly, bearing the latent rhythms of coordinated footfalls and the soft hiss of rough linen over armor. A lullaby only understood by those who traverse the shadows to face the dawn with unsheathed dedication, and as stars spin overhead like ancient witnesses, the innovation of Sparta's military legacy cradles you within its storied embrace, a timeless testament to the meticulous skill and unwavering courage of its people. The morning air is crisp and invigorating as you step out onto the grounds, the sun just beginning to cast long shadows over the terracotta roofs of Sparta. But today, there's a particular excitement simmering in the atmosphere, an electricity that dances lightly among the Spartan youth. It's the anticipation of a grand event, the chance to partake in the revered Olympic Games. The Olympic Games offer a platform where Spartan prowess can be showcased and witness feats that transcend the battleground. It's a curious and palpable blend of international camaraderie and fierce competition. Spartans, with their ceaseless dedication to physical excellence, are magnetized toward these games, eager to test their mettle against worthy athletes from across the Hellenic world. You join the procession heading toward the site of the games, where the clang of metal rings as competitors prepare, each tone harmonizing with the rhythmic beat of history repeating. Arriving at Olympia feels almost mythical, a convergence of tradition and athletic spirit beneath the watchful eyes of deities resting upon Mount Olympus. Spartans enter these competitions with more than victory in mind. They seek to embody their values of discipline, strength, and indomitable will. Wrestling, running, and the grueling Pankratianar blend of boxing and wrestling are events well suited to Spartan training, each a proving ground for the skills hammered out across years of rigorous living. As you watch the prowess displayed by Spartan athletes, clad in little more than determination and the steadfast belief of their lineage, a flicker of pride dances through you. Their movements, honed to perfection, reflect grace intertwined with the raw power etched into their beings through years of dedicated practice. Here's an intriguing element to note. During Olympic competition, it's said that a Spartan athlete would occasionally let slip a jest mid-competition, offering cheeky commentary or quips about their opponents, uncharacteristic humor that lightens even the most intense moments of rivalry. Picture it. A well-timed remark from a wrestler pinning their opponent on technique, remarking, "I trained to tussle harder things than this." Participating in the Olympics isn't solely about individual honor. It's about upholding the reputation of Sparta itself. A Spartan victory carries the weight of the entire state's pride, its values, and the undying spirit of its ancestors. A social tapestry displayed in each stride toward the finishing line. Yet, for all their dedication to excellence, even Spartans feel the quiet embarrassment of an unexpected mishap. Watching a javelin land embarrassingly short, or an athlete trip during a sprint, invites gentle, collective laughter, a nod to humanity even among the resolutely disciplined. Multi-layered praise greets champions, bestowed with wreaths of olive leaves as tokens of divine favor. And in victory, a Spartan athlete knows personal achievement is merely a ripple, expanding across history's larger pond, where their success is woven into the lived Spartan narrative. In this shared spirit of athletic excellence, the necessity of balance emerges, a reminder that behind every grand ambition, every pursuit of greatness, lies the harmony between competition and sportsmanship, even in ancient rivalries. Historians still argue over the exact extent of Spartan influence on the cultural evolution of the Olympic ethos, whether their Spartan discipline refined it or challenged it to adapt. Either way, the integration of martial prowess into athletic prestige carries its own timeless resonance. As the day wanes and you step away from the fervor of the contests, you're awash with a sense of kinship, a community strengthened not just by training but by a shared quest for excellence, transcending the borders of individual states. Returning to the familiar paths of your city, the echoes of the games mingle with the whispering night, a soothing chorus singing praises of honor and valor. Beneath the moonlit canopy, your pace slows, lulled into a serene cadence, cradled gently by dreams of enduring legacy, a dream where the ancient spark of competition illuminates paths yet to tread. And as gentle rest takes hold, the essence of the games winds softly through your mind, an ethereal procession of shared triumphs and defeats, the pulse of Spartan calling never ceasing, as eternal as the star-strewn sky above. Daylight breaks gently over Sparta, casting a golden glow on the stone streets and fortified walls. You walk through the heart of this formidable city-state, reflecting on a less tangible but equally significant aspect of Spartan life, its diplomacy, and the unique balance it strikes between proud isolation and strategic alliances. In a world where decisions often tread the line between friend and foe, Spartan diplomacy exhibits both a wariness and prudence informed by centuries of guarded independence. Sparta has always fostered an image of isolation, seeking distinction from the more politically inclined Athens. Proud, self-sufficient and wary of outsiders, the Spartans embrace a cautious foreign policy. This detachment serves both as a defense mechanism and a declaration of confidence in their way of life. Despite this reputation, Sparta is not entirely secluded. The city-state carefully cultivates relationships, knowing that strategic alliances can enhance its strength and security. As you wander the bustling agora, where merchants exchange not only goods but also news and gossip, you realize how these interactions, though guarded, are vital threads in the tapestry of Greek political dynamics. During these encounters, you ponder the dual nature of Spartan manners. A mirthful nod here, a silent exchange of glances there, shaped by both a warrior's reticence and shrewd political awareness. Meetings with envoys from other states alternate between formal receptions, where solemnity reigns, and more informal gatherings, where even a Spartan might crack a sly joke or indulge in a light-hearted quip. Imagine offering light-hearted wisdom to an Athenian visitor. We hear Athens is lovely when it's not framed in Spartan shields. This balance between isolation and cooperation finds expression in the so-named Peloponnesian League, a confederation of Greek states led by Sparta. It is a union forged in mutual interest, primarily to counterbalance Athenian expansion and assert Spartan influence. Through this league, Sparta extends its power while maintaining its core values, situating itself as both protector and overseer. The intriguing nature of Spartan diplomacy becomes evident through episodes of dual objectives, securing loyalty while asserting dominance. With each strategic move, Sparta demonstrates resilience and adaptability in ways defining the city-state's historical narrative. Curiously, even amidst these interactions, Spartan culture influences Spartan austere living and blunt communication style, paradoxically alluring, become subjects of fascination among outsiders. It is said that when a Spartan speaks, others listen intently, ever curious about the famously laconic speech that hints at depths behind their calculated silence. Historians still argue whether Sparta's diplomatic approach offered them sustainable peace or ensured continuous tension. Was the guarded openness a calculated move to protect against liabilities, or did it foster an insular society precluding broader harmony? The debates echo through history, much like the booted strides of Spartan messengers journeying between city-states. As the sun sets and casting dappled patterns over the ancient landscape, the quiet thrills of Spartan diplomacy fade back into the city's enduring rhythm. The weight of history sits comfortably in the crux of Spartan decision-making, as each alliance or cautious venture forward is measured by those who bear both shield and olive branch alike. Returning home under the silvered glow of the moon, you feel the calm assurance imparted by the recognition of Spartan resilience in upholding their ideals. The city's disciplined heart beats with consistent fortitude, breathing life into a future shaped not just by iron and battle, but also by calculated choices of peace. In the night's gentle embrace, you drift into dreams touched by alliances and Spartan echoes. A song of reflective introspection marked by whispers of ages. The evening's gentle overture to another day shaped as much by past glories as future stratagems. The dream, cradled securely by the blanket of night, dances softly against the horizon of your mind, woven with silent agreements and steps cautiously traced. A testament to the complexity and enduring strength of Spartan diplomatic dance. As dawn stretches its golden fingers across the plains and mountains of Sparta, another day of Spartan life unfolds. Beneath the everyday routines and traditions lies a tapestry rich with myth and legend, weaving together the mythos that defines the Spartan identity. This morning, you find yourself drawn into these stories, tales that carve a path through history and whisper across the ages, giving life to the ideals and virtues that Sparta holds sacred. The stories of Sparta often start with the semi-legendary figure of Lycurgus, credited as the lawgiver who crafted the Spartan way. While the truth of his existence is still a matter of historical debate, Lycurgus embodies the spirit of Spartan society. His legend tells of a man who visited the Oracle of Delphi before instituting a set of reforms, a mixture of myths, laws, and culture, to create the disciplined, martial culture that shapes your everyday. As a Spartan, you grow up hearing this tale repeated by elders, told around the glow of communal fires or whispered between friends during a stolen moment of rest. It's a story that fuels the Spartan ethos with purpose and conviction. Even as you stand in the present, Lycurgus's shadow looms large, the ever-present guardian of your people's discipline. Venture further into these mythic narratives, and you encounter stories of divine intervention. Spartan culture is infused with the honor and reverence of gods and heroes. Apollo and Artemis are favored deities, with Apollo representing music and prophecy, embellishing Spartan life and reinforcing virtues of resilience. The legends of these gods intertwine with your reality, shaping religious and civic life. One popular legend speaks of the Dioscuri Castor and Pollux, twin sons of Zeus said to be protectors of Sparta. These renowned figures often lend their strength in battle, reportedly appearing at critical moments to guide Spartan warriors to victory. Such tales aren't just myths, but serve a profound social function, reinforcing the belief that to be Spartan is to be under the watchful eyes of ancient power, a power lending divine favor to Sparta's indomitable spirit. Among the layers of structured seriousness, myths introduce as much humor as they do moral conundrums. A jest related to these stories involves the hero Heracles himself. Imagine hearing a playful tale of the occasional, if not fictitious, moment when Heracles might have challenged a Spartan youth to a foot race, only to cheekily let the young lad win by sheer speed, a benevolence to inspire rather than to conquer. Another fascinating twist in the Spartan mythos is the tale of Helen of Troy. Though renowned for her beauty and the war it sparked, Helen is sometimes depicted by Spartans as notably their own, a lineage linking their people to legendary tales of love and heroism. Her association provides a softer dimension to the Spartan legacy, adding glamour and intrigue to the martial narrative. As you engage with these stories, historians might point out the ambiguous intersections between myth and reality, questioning whether myth served merely to romanticize Spartan ideals or actively shaped them. Regardless, these legends sculpt perceptions, offering context for the values you hold close. When evening arrives, the myths continue to swirl in the air, encouraging introspection. As the landscape fades from the color of sunlit stones to twilight shadows, you settle into the familiarity of the night, the tales woven into memory's fabric. These are not just stories to Sparta. They are the lifeblood of tradition, nourishment for the soul as much as a shield or spear is for the body. As the stars nudge night into being, along with them drift tales of heroism and divine favor, cushioning your sleepy mind. Wrapped in the gentle embrace of Spartan myth, sleep comes easily, each dream a reflection of stories sung by winds through the ages, bringing reminders of honors echo both long past and ever present. Sinking into slumber, the old myths settle like a soft mist, enveloping your dreams with glimmers of lyres played before the gods, battles waged beneath twilight skies, and whispered promises carried in the divine breath that fueled Spartan hearts. And as dawn's light creeps ever closer, the legends live on, infinite whispers through the pages of history. As the first rays of sun filter through the sturdy branches of ancient trees, illuminating the path ahead, you find yourself contemplating the spiritual backbone of Spartan life. In this world governed by discipline and valor, religion and belief play pivotal roles, anchoring the community with shared rituals and divine order. Each day begins and ends within the cradle of these beliefs, providing both solace and structure to navigating the rigors of Spartan existence. Imagine, for a moment, waking to the harmonious sounds of early morning nature's chorus, accompanied by the distant hymns dedicated to Apollo. Spartan life is intricately woven with religious observance, captured in the rhythm and rituals that reverberate through the city's pulse. The religious spirit permeates every aspect of Spartan society, manifesting in architectural splendor and simple, everyday traditions. Temples dedicated to Apollo and Artemis stand as testaments to the divine influences steering Spartan fate. Apollo, god of music, truth, and prophecy, resonates with Spartans, encouraging virtues of truth and discipline, while Artemis, the huntress, embodies the spirit of protection and prowess that amplifies Spartan resilience. Spartan citizens partake in daily offerings and sacrifices, simple gestures that align with their communal ethos. Such rituals are not merely perfunctory but imbibed with the belief that they fortify the bonds between mortals and divine, occasioning blessings upon the lands and its denizens. Festivals play a significant role in connecting Spartans to their gods, each dedicated day echoing through time. The Carneia, a festival dedicated to Apollo, bursts with music, races, and revelry, balancing solemnity with boisterous celebration. During these days, you would see Spartans dancing with the ease of waves, reflecting Apollo's favor through joyful footwork and unrestrained laughter. Here's a delightful tidbit. During these festivals, spontaneous skits satiate the Spartan appetite for humor, where unlikely characters like Hermes, notorious for his mischief, may be the subject of light-hearted plays. Such humor inadvertently embraces humility, a gift to gods both reverent and cheeky. Of great significance is the Rapaya, a communal feast, held in the name of gods, that bonds attendees, reminding them of shared duty and sacrifice. It is here formidable warriors, venerable elders, and promising youths alike join as one, lyrics sweetening the air, celebrating kinship under the gods' patronage. Amidst religious fervour lies a rigid sense of fate and prophecies. Oracles play a considerable role, their enigmatic proclamations shaping decisions from the battlefield to political alliances. The most famous of these is the Oracle of Delphi, whose prophetic influence is revered, entwining the fate of its responses into the fabric of Spartan decision-making. Curiously, historians still discuss the extent of religion's influence in shaping Spartan history. Was it profoundly entwined with strategic choices, or merely an affirmation of pre-existing traditions? These musings weave through academia, suggesting complex symbioses between belief and duty. As twilight slowly asserts control, the murmurs of Spartans at prayer are carried on the evening breeze, swirling amid the tender hues of dusk. In moments of solitude, the comforting embrace of the divine permeates the air, whispering courage into the hearts that serve beneath the banners of the gods. As night unveils its gentle canvas, you find solace in the spiritual cadence enveloping you. Sleep comes easily on the current of hymns and prayers, dreams echoing with divine harmonies, a nightly benediction weaving through thoughts with wings of fleeting angels. Serenading a Spartan soir, in the depth of slumber, woven with threads of prayer, you sense Apollo's light trailing through shadows, a touch both gentle and everlasting, invoking pride and humility. And as new dawn's promise tints the distant horizon, the symphony of faith, traditions, and echoes of devotion cradle you comfortably within the eternal folds of Spartan faith. As the Spartan sun rises once more, outlining the rugged landscape with a golden hue, you turn your thoughts to a subject that holds a profound significance within Spartan society: the perspective on death. To a Spartan, death is more than an ending. It is an integral part of life's continuum, woven with honour, duty, and eternal glory. Reflecting upon this, you begin to comprehend the complexities of a worldview where facing mortality is both an inevitable reality and a fiercely guarded tenet of the ethos. Growing up in Sparta, you are taught to see death not with fear but with respect. The tales of fallen heroes, woven into everyday discourse, cast death as a noble companion accompanying your path to fame and honour. From childhood, the concept of kalos thanatos, or beautiful death, is instilled, a paradoxical ideal that elevates sacrifice for Sparta above all else, promising immortality beyond the earthly realm. In every Spartan's life, there exists a pang of yearning to meet their fate courageously, as many of your esteemed ancestors did. Whether battling against numerically superior foes or staunchly defending native soil, stories whisper through the city like the steady flow of the Evrotas River, reminding each Spartan that one's deeds echo louder than any lamentations of loss. Understandably, this intricate dance with mortality finds expression in funeral customs remarkable for their stoic simplicity. Rather than opulent ceremonies, Spartan burials are marked by austerity, signifying strength even in passing. Helmets are donned by the fallen, shields are not laid down but passed to the next generation, a tangible inheritance guarding future legacies. Interestingly, humour and grace slip subtly into these narratives. An anecdote you might hear involves an elder joking half seriously, "To die on your feet is noble, to fall gracefully, memorable." A nod to the renowned Spartan wit that bridges courage with life's inevitable acts. Historians continue to unravel the dimensions of Spartan attitudes towards death, exploring whether it arose purely from necessity or cultivated a deep-seated cultural identity. The dialogue traverses whether these ideals forged an immutable purpose or if they cloaked fear in disciplined valor, a dance of conjecture cradled within ancient narrative. A profound reflection resides in the famed words attributed to King Leonidas at Thermopylae, "Molon lebe," or "come and take them," a defiant admittance to fall with righteousness rather than live in surrender. It captures the Spartan bravery to face death, inscribed across the ages as an unwavering testament. As dusk envelops the landscape in a tender veil of silvered light, the presence of those who have passed on is keenly felt, not as a sorrowful void, but as an inspiring heartbeat throbbing beneath the city's soil. Night unfolds its velvet canopy, offering a celestial glance over this legacy, an eternal promise to uphold honor with each breath, courage with each step, and kinship with each horizon approached. With the serenity of starlight, sleep steals upon you, accompanied by the gentle murmur of storied ancestors, reassuring your journey is not solely yours, but one you share with time's guardians. Their whispers resonate under the moon, a lullaby of legacy cradling your restless mind into dreams of valor and eternal remembrance. And as the sands of time slip into tomorrow's waiting embrace, Spartan ideals weave a gentle path through your slumber. The vivid tapestry of life, woven with threads of duty, resonates softly, a testament to the enduring strength that defies even the silence of the stars and folds Spartan narrative into the ceaseless breath of time. As the Spartan day begins anew, light dappling through the olive groves, you find yourself contemplating a chapter of your homeland's storied legacy that speaks of change and inevitability. Witnessing the decline of Sparta, a city once invincible, is a sobering narrative filled with choices and forces both within and beyond its borders. This decline offers a poignant reflection on the passage of time and the ebb and flow of power. Sparta's peak, defined by military prowess and disciplined society, stood unwavering for centuries. Yet, as with the great civilizations before it, Sparta faced challenges that would ultimately reshape its future. You can sense that this tale of decline intertwines with the same forces that once made Sparta strong: its rigorous systems, its isolation, and its unyielding traditions. The world beyond Sparta was changing, with new alliances forming and other Greek city-states evolving in political and cultural innovations. Meanwhile, Sparta's rigid social structure and conservative policies failed to adapt to these shifting winds. The strain of perpetual warfare and a dwindling population, unable to sustain its warrior class, created fractures within the Spartan framework. Additionally, the Helot class, forever the backbone of Spartan economy, found opportunities to assert themselves amid this turmoil, further unbalancing the delicate societal scales. The tensions simmered beneath the surface until cracks appeared. As outside forces and rival states took advantage of these weaknesses, Sparta found itself increasingly isolated, its once indomitable influence waning. Throughout this period of change, there is still space for humor, even amidst adversity. The legend speaks of a Spartan elder quipping, "Even the shield we hold so dear cannot parry the passage of time," offering a witty acknowledgement of the unavoidable evolution that even Spartan shields couldn't defend against. One pivotal event that exemplified Sparta's declining trajectory was their defeat at the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BCE, where the Theban general Epaminondas employed brilliant tactical maneuvers that drastically shifted the balance of power in Greece. For the first time, Sparta's military aura was tarnished, its legendary invincibility questioned, a turning point that led to further challenges. Within the halls of Spartan power, historians still debate over the extent to which internal strife influenced the external failures. Was it strict adherence to tradition that weakened adaptability, or were there broader cultural shifts that escaped even Spartan foresight? The discussions ripple through time, much like the unbroken wisdom of oracles once interpreted through cryptic verses. Yet, even in decline, the Spartan spirit remains unyielded, refusing to bend to despair. There's a quiet dignity in how Sparta withdrew gracefully, even as it grappled with its place in a changing world. Despite its decline, the legacy of Sparta continued to influence Greek culture and beyond, a symbol of discipline and martial excellence enduring through tales and teachings. As the scarlet streaks of sunset stretch across the sky, blending with the olive-shaded land, Sparta remains etched in history's pages, not just as a power that waned, but as a lesson in resilience. Its decline, while changing the landscape of power in Greece, carries with it echoes of valor that time cannot quell. As night steals away the day, you are left with a profound understanding of Sparta's legacy. Wrapped in the embrace of its enduring spirit, sleep welcomes you. The decline becomes not an end, but a whispered reminder of the cycles governing all things, an acknowledgement of enduring strength, forever carved into the landscape of collective memory. Through dreams layered with the whispers of legendary kings and anonymous warriors alike, a gentle lull resonates, a valiant cadence as ageless as the starlit sky. As long as stories of courage reverberate through history, the heart of Sparta beats on, refusing to fade quietly into yesterday. As light unfurls across the ancient cityscape once more, casting gentle shadows through the enduring colonnades of Sparta, the modern world reveals its secrets through archaeological endeavors, offering fresh insights into this storied society. Standing amidst this intersection of past and present, you come to appreciate how discoveries have unearthed layers of understanding, refining our knowledge of ancient Sparta and its complex dynamics. Archaeology provides a tangible connection to a world long disappeared. The process is itself almost an adventure, each trowel, scrape and brushstroke shedding light on the lives of those who walked these paths eons ago. Discoveries range from simple fragments to grand structures, each piece a narrative thread contributing to the rich and textured tapestry of Spartan history. Take, for example, the remnants of Spartan temples and sanctuaries discovered over the years. These structures reveal not just that Sparta valued religion, but how deeply spiritual life was embedded in the day-to-day experience. Inscriptions unearthed offer glimpses into Spartan religious practices, displaying acts of devotion that merged seamlessly with their martial ethos, an enduring testament to resilience underpinned by piety. Sparta, so often overshadowed by the grandiosity of Athens or the opulence of Corinth, relied on its subtlety. The modest remains of Spartan dwellings unearthed by archaeologists reflect a culture that valued function over form. Simple, yet durable, these homes spoke volumes about a society built on austerity, discipline, and practicality, where the polished stones of a hearth seemed more significant than elaborate friezes or grand courtyards. As researchers work tirelessly, they uncover not only the physical structures of this ancient world, but also shift the paradigms of knowledge surrounding Spartan society. Excavations have led to the discovery of rare artifacts, such as intricate jewelry or the occasional painted pottery, a reminder that even Sparta, defined by its martial focus, allowed room for aesthetic sensitivity and beauty. Here's a quirky find that tickles the imagination. Buried within the soil outside a training field, the remnants of a clay vessel painted with childish doodles suggest that even youthful Spartans found time for playful expression, a sentiment transcending millennia, whispering humorously into our own sense of growing up amidst duty. Historians continue to debate which aspects of Spartan life these finds corroborate versus contradict, molding narratives shaped by both tangible evidence and literary lore. The past endeavors to speak more clearly to the present, as academic interpretations weave together fresh threads of understanding from what we uncover. With each layer removed, the landscape of ancient Sparta reveals a rhythm of life rooted in tradition, yet ripe with undiscovered nuance. Modern excavation techniques continue peeling away assumptions, uncovering truths anchored in both marble and whispering winds, completing the portrait with vibrant strokes of complexity, often overshadowed by myth. As the shadows lengthen into evening, thoughts drift toward the enduring power of these discoveries. The ancients left more than ruins. They left a legacy now poised for our understanding, waiting to be unearthed through awe and inquiry. Returning home under the starlit sky, you absorb the echoes of Spartan ancestors, accepting that despite centuries separating you from their world, fragments of their existence linger, encouraging reflection, humility, and an appreciation for the passage of time yet unfrozen in history's embrace. With dreams cradling thoughts of buried treasure and dust-laden lungs, your sleep rests gently on the archaeological tides, exploring anew the fragments of Spartan tales. Each ancient echo sings softly, an opulent lullaby in earth and sky, whispering stories as old as the very soil beneath. In these dreams, you wander familiar paths through unknown chronicles, awakening anew the spirit of Spartan integrity, hidden and revealed by each careful stroke of time's revealing hand. The rising sun once more bathes the landscape in its golden glow, casting long shadows that stretch across the ancient stones of Sparta. In this peaceful morning light, you reflect on how the legacy of Spartan ideals resonates through the modern world. These echoes, shaped by centuries of storytelling and historical analysis, find surprise expressions across sports, education, and military disciplines worldwide, embodying the essence of strength, discipline, and resilience. In contemporary athletics, the Spartan spirit is alive and well. As you watch athletes around the world competing with vigor and dedication, you recognize the reflection of what Spartan warriors once embodied. The drive to push through limits and achieve greatness mirrors the rigorous training of the Agoge, a deep-seated pursuit of excellence that transcends time. Each stride across the finish line, each triumphant lift, carries forward the legacy of those disciplined warriors who trained relentlessly under the Spartan sun. Triathlon races aptly harness the Spartan ethos, combining endurance, strength, and mental fortitude, qualities deeply rooted in Spartan training. The physical challenges of such contemporary sports honor the Spartan ideal of maximizing human potential, engaging in contests where victory and personal bests add layers to ancient reverberation. Beyond the realm of professional sports, the echoes of Spartan discipline manifest themselves in educational philosophies that champion resilience, teamwork, and perseverance. In classrooms around the world, students learn the value of community akin to the Spartan communal lifestyle. The principles guiding Spartan education, though intense, emphasize the importance of preparing individuals not as isolated entities, but as vital parts of a larger whole, a conviction mirrored in modern educational trends that celebrate collaboration and shared achievement. Imagine for a moment a classroom where young minds are encouraged to face intellectual challenges as ardently as Spartans faced physical ones, each obstacle met with collective ingenuity and shared exploration. And amidst the studious pursuit of knowledge, perhaps a chuckle as someone quips about today's Agoges via complex calculus or a daunting literature assignment, sparking humor where pressure finds release. Within military academies worldwide, the imprints of Spartan influence endure in training regimens that foster camaraderie, leadership, and tactical skill. The phalanx mentality, unwavering unity in the face of adversity, is a strategic legacy that has informed countless doctrines. Here, the ironclad Spartan discipline still breathes, whispering on parade grounds and through the cadence of marching feet. These modern warriors undertake the same pursuit of honor, integrity, and collective purpose, once central to the Spartan worldview. Even in their solitary moments of reflection, their actions echo the lessons passed from shores of ancient Greece, lessons framed in resolve and commitment, changed as times have changed, yet perpetually relevant. Historians, philosophers, and educators often debate the nuances of Spartan influence on contemporary life. Do the remnants of this ancient ideal remain practical in nurturing modern society, or merely romantic relics from a utopian past? Such debates unfurl in scholarly discourse, each perspective contributing to a broader understanding of history's impact on today's evolving landscape. As twilight sweeps across the land, you are comforted by the enduring presence of these Spartan ideals, intricately woven into the fabric of our lives. Each endeavor paints a lasting legacy not solely in terms of past or present, but as a continuum adapting to the aspirations and challenges of tomorrow. Gazing upon the myriad stars overhead, you recognize the glow of Spartan courage that brightens the skies of human pursuit. The ancient spirit lingers, unfaltering as the constellations, a beacon illuminating paths to greatness, forever residing in the collective heart. When night casts its serene spell, sleep enfolds you in a tapestry woven thick with inspiration and the quiet strength of bygone eras. You drift into restful dreams upon the gentle tides of time, embracing the echoes of ancient valor that softly serenade the restless hunger of modern souls, whose stories continue to forge the chronicle of humanity's grand narrative. As the horizon glows with the first light of dawn, painting the ancient hills and valleys of Sparta in soft hues of gold, you ponder over the continued fascination that historians and scholars hold for this enigmatic society. The legacy of Sparta sparks debates and discussions surrounding its impact, its myths, and its truths, often stirring passions as fervently today as in times long past. Spartan society, with its mythic qualities and historical narratives, finds itself at the center of myriad scholarly debates. As you delve into these discussions, you realize that many facets of Sparta, its discipline, its militaristic prowess, and its unique cultural identity, remain subjects of intense examination and spirited discourse. One of the central debates among historians concerns the accuracy and extent of Spartans' martial focus, captured in the limited accounts passed down through the ages. Were the Spartans as singularly dedicated to warfare as frequently portrayed? Or does this oversimplification obscure a deeper societal tapestry that included arts, diplomacy, and civic engagement? Such questions weave through historical discourse, leading to intriguing rediscoveries of Spartan dynamics that challenge prevailing assumptions. Another point of scholarly contention revolves around the enigmatic figure of Lycurgus, the alleged architect of Spartan law and society. Historians continue to argue about his existence. Was he a single historical figure, or an amalgam of several reformers whose collective influence helped shape the Spartan ethos? The absence of definitive records ensures that Lycurgus remains as much a symbol as he is a man, a representation of ideals that persisted long after his shadow faded into the mists of time. Through these debates, even the perception of Spartan women comes under scrutiny. Were they truly liberated as posited by some ancient writers, with roles that offered autonomy and influence? Or were their lives strictly regulated within a narrow framework that painted visible empowerment against a backdrop laced with underlying restrictions? The discourse unsheaths layers, adding complexity to an already intricate narrative. Additionally, the portrayal of helots within Spartan society invites spirited discussions regarding social dynamics and power structures. Did the helots experience life as oppressed serfs, enduring a rigid system, or was there room for a more nuanced understanding of their contribution across centuries? The discussions ripple through academia, seeking a fair interpretation that remains sensitive to both liberty and subjugation. Curiously, emerging archaeological finds and technological advancements lend modern perspectives to these time-worn debates, casting doubt on old assumptions while validating others. Historians revel in these layers of discovery, weaving fresh interpretations into the fabric of our collective understanding of Sparta, a society both clear in its legacy and enshrouded in mystery. Thus, the Spartan past stretches into the modern mind, fostering vibrant curiosity, where questions linger over each stride of ancient warriors, captured in fading inscriptions. Every artifact unearthed from ageless soil, whether through literature, art, or academic texts, the dialogues of Sparta echo, a mysterious symphony sounding through time. As sunlight tints the Spartan landscape with a warm glow, you appreciate how these scholarly debates and rigorous inquiries frame a picture of a society whose relevance transcends its chronological confines. What was once a world of stone and spear now plays upon the tapestry of imagination and scholarship, inviting narratives both ancient and contemporary to collaborate. As night drapes its stars across the celestial canvas, you sense the weight of this unending quest for understanding. With dreams woven from the threads of inquiry and the reflection of scholarly pursuits, you drift into the calm embrace of sleep. In that wearied quiet, you find comfort in the ceaseless dance of knowledge and discovery, the whispers of historians guiding each dream across shadowed paths. The night carries echoes of questions unanswered, a lullaby of tantalizing truths waiting patiently within the folds of history, reassuring your repose and promising that the pursuit of understanding, like Sparta itself, is timeless and true. In the dawning light of a new day, reflections on Sparta's enduring legacy fill your mind, capturing how its influence persists across the ages. This contemplation carries with it a reverence for Sparta, a culture defined by discipline, strength, and an unwavering commitment to ideals now woven into the fabric of history. Sparta, even in its antiquity, has become a benchmark for comparing societies committed to duty, identity, and communal strength. The city-state's spirit echoes in the minds of those who strive to comprehend not only its historic might, but its philosophical core as well. As you stand on the precipice of this last reflection, the Spartan legacy unfolds like a tapestry, each thread contributing to a picture of mankind's enduring pursuit of excellence and balance amid change. Modern reflections of Spartan ideals capture the imagination in unexpected ways, from the rigorous demands of contemporary military training to the metaphorical battles in competitive sports. The elements of Spartan ethos ring clear. Emphasizing courage, loyalty, and honor, these ideals have permeated realms that reach far beyond ancient battlefields, finding relevance in contemporary struggles both physical and metaphorical. These values align as sacred guides not just in wars or sports but throughout life, inspiring individuals to face unforeseen challenges with poise and perseverance. The echoes of ancient warriors lend an indomitable will to those navigating the complexities of modern existence. Each decision mirroring the timeless virtues revered by the warrior state. Historians and artists alike continue to devote themselves to exploring Sparta's narratives, both real and mythologized, crafting interpretations that embellish our understanding of humankind's shared journey. The ink of storytellers mingles with artifacts uncovered by archaeologists, broadening the spectrum of Spartan influence, feeding imagination and intellect alike. Despite its decline centuries ago, Sparta remains resilient in memory, omnipresent through the ideals it championed. Each emblem forged by Spartans molds perceptions, each symbol continues to encourage steadfast pursuit of the noble, and each word echoes the wit that time cannot silence. Now, as you close your journey through Sparta, an unexpected warmth rises. From the cradle to the peak, through triumphs and trials, the Spartan story endures, propelling humanity toward aspirations that mirror those ancient aspirations. As sunlight batters gently upon ancient ruins and modern landscapes alike, the bonds connecting past and present reveal strength beyond matter, a legacy of quiet power prevailing through whispers of the heart. In this gentle moment of realization, you cherish the reverberating loyalty to values ageless and profound. Tethered by history, bound by ideals, you cradle Sparta's legacy amid the soft ambivalence of time, flowing with rhythms as ancient yet contemporary as breath itself. As night draws its final clasp, you drift slowly into the soothing embrace of sleep. The Spartan journey cradles you with the promise of tomorrow's dawning light, the story unfolding on both familiar and unexplored roads. It is an invitation to stand resolute, touch the tender, and march unwaveringly through dreams and consciousness alike. Greater than, greater than, greater than, end of script. Sweet dreams.